Has anyone spoke with you about Jesus? Have you heard the good news? Have you? Do you wonder if I know a lot of pagan people, and of the ones that I like to listen to, there's at least two. I like listening to Thomas Sheridan, but I like listening to another. I wish I knew her name. She's beautiful and she's very smart. Another Irish girl. She does a astrologer. She's damn good. Now, I don't have a problem with pagan people that aren't Satanists or some sort of sacrificers of children and shit. And you know what? I know damn good and well that the Catholic Church is all up in that shit too, so don't think I'm fucking making fun of anybody or trying to point somebody out when I know it's just as fucked up on the Christian side. But my Christianity, my Uber went out, which is sad. I'll just have to relight it at another time. But my walk with Christ, it's very personal. And it doesn't afford me any relationship with the church at all anymore. It don't. And also, I don't have to, it's not my place to get into somebody's business other than when they don't have the same spiritual understanding or strength to offer them the same thing that I got that provided for me that. So I don't have to be proselyting anyone. I just have to share the good news. Now, sharing the good news from faith does come to be a place that you can refer to and from that you're not going to have many peers. So when it says to go out and spread the gospel, you know, which is your fucking sandals and your walking stick, and that's it. That makes sense to me. What is actually supposed to be had. And I really, truly believe that the Christ consciousness is the consciousness that first allows you to perceive other self as self. That's Christ consciousness. What about the messenger Christ? Jesus. In my own personal experience, and I had a very profound story. I'm not going to go into that story. I'm just going to say you can believe me that I believe me on this. And the entity that I've encountered, says his name is Essa. And he did not come here for us to make this religion. It was not the point of why he came here. And I do believe that he's also thank you. I am enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I want to be careful because with all this stuff that's going on, honestly, all these polarizing things, it's kind of annoying because, you know, those of us that have children and we're watching these kids, and the lady friend that I speak with has some of them that are young like that, and says that they're just way more emotional than us. And I don't feel any lack of emotion for myself. I think that's why these children are being made to be victims all the time. Because if it's all about how they feel, and furthermore, it's all about how you feel. How do you feel? How does this make you feel? It can really warp the context of what we're looking at. Somebody gave a good example yesterday when I was doing my research and such. I heard a story that was of a black dude and white dude that were friends. And the black dude was going to go out to the store to get something. His homie, the white guy, asked him where he was going. He told him, and he asked him, would you stop and pick me up a burger? And he's like, what you think? I'm your boy? I'm your servant. I'm supposed to go and get you. I doubt it. Dude probably just wants the burger. People do this all the time. This is where we're at. We're left with this fractured, fucking, fucked up situation where most of us are really cool with each other, unless you haven't had any experience with any other races. I doubt there are few people like that still, and they just don't have any interaction. And I remember how it was for me when I was young. I thought that black people had their butt was like how their hand was, the palm. Now I know that sounds stupid, but I didn't know. And a black friend of mine, when I was like in first grade, mooned me, and I laughed. And other things like that. Children are good about being way too curious, but they're also good about, amongst themselves, figuring out the world the correct way. And I really think the answer is in letting these kids interact with each other and come to their own terms without us manipulating them or trying to culture drive. I think that we'll get the best kids and the best future that way. I'm just running on a hunch. But I think my hunch is pretty good on this one. But and it's the same thing with the Christ consciousness. It's like I want to confer with other people who have other beliefs and stuff like that. And if I don't see there's any malevolent activity going on, then I'm happy to discover and I'm happy to bring to the table what I have spiritually that I've gained along the way without having to, God wills it, put on my Templar outfit and fucking just go to straight fucking everyone dies war. And I think that's what ascending really is. It's getting past that. Because there's a level of like, on the quantum of consciousness, he continually reiterates the nature of the screen, the not milk, and the creeps, the reality levers and switches. The point of the fact is, there's no way to fully understand what we're in. It really is like we're in a automatically generated mirror world, and that's okay. And that's all right. That's all right about that. So there's no point in trying to find any little piece of it that's going to be the piece for me, the thing that I'll cling on to. It's clearly more about our relationships with each other. So if we can keep our focus on that, if we cannot be so hell-bent and mad as hell, not understanding why they're trying to drive the culture and force a lot of this stuff down our throats that isn't natural and it isn't healthy, then we'll be able to back up enough from it to be helpful to these people that clearly are missing something and need help. And I'm calling on those who are supposedly said they're real Christians to try to interact like that. Because after seeing gay church and all that stuff, they broke like 5 or 10 major rules, especially with idolatry. Because if they're not setting up a big queer god idol by saying that, and then in the next breath say something about idolatry, it's ape shit bananas. You know, if it was just a church that gay people could go to that are worried about that abomination angle. I think when you look at why that is, or why that would be a thing, it'll make a lot more sense if you put the right context in. When was the time period? And the laws of God should not change. But I'm not gonna push for anything being the laws of God like that. I'm just gonna tell you, if there's the function of nature to be, just to be, is the main premise of nature, number one. And to be is to propagate the species. All the other bullshit, it's really irrelevant. Because we can interject all of our reasons, all of our little fucking blankets, you know, our little fucking rocks, or our little truth, whatever it is going to be our kernel of truth. And all that's going to have to be separated from us to resolve ourselves back to source. So it doesn't matter. If we help the people that are genuinely, something's wrong, and I think they don't feel right about themselves or whatever, they don't have to feel like that. So as a call to arms for people to just try to help sturdy up the emotionally unstable person that you notice. If you can get in there, you can interact with them, and you can show them that we all basically feel the same vulnerability in our own skin. That's common to every single human. No matter how perfect they may look or their life may be, then I really think we have nothing to worry about as far as all the culture wars and shit like that. And I think we would be well on our way to getting that work done. That is the relationships, the mastering our personal relationships and our ability to be reactive, to overcome that and be proactive and get ahead of this whole fucking thing, which is basically how you are triggered or not. Please hit like and subscribe. I hope you appreciate this message. Like I say, I'd like to do research and look at the things that are going on in the world and seeing what can be made of that and what message of hope can be brought back. Because ultimately that's the point. What can you do about it? There is something you can do right now, today, at this moment, and it's just a change of your own perception to make that reality so that we can all go home, you know, or enter in unto it as a state, a timeline, a higher dense, whatever it may be. That's as heaven as it's going to get. Have a nice day.